What's up, YouTube? This is going to be our guide on how to use Arcanine in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing some competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, let me know about in the comment section of the video, and let's get into it. So Arcanine is a very versatile Pokemon in many different sorts of formats there. So I'm going to be covering like singles, doubles, teammates, some fun movesets, lots of different things there. So let's start off with a physical sweeping set, like to outright attacker. So this one's going to be good for singles, and you could possibly use it for doubles as well. So with this EV spread here, I've got max attack and max speed, adamant nature. Now, adamant or jolly is sort of up to what you want to run there. So with adamant, you get like a lot more attack. It's got that big 110 base there. With its speed, it's 95, so it's okay, but it's not like, it's in sort of a weird sort of speed bracket there. So it's not like super duper fast. So, when you go jolly, you just get, a nice sort of speed stat there. Nothing super duper amazing, but it is pretty good. With this adamant, you can actually have, you've got a priority move there in extreme speed, which I've given it, so it's going to be pretty powerful there. We've got Flare Blitz there for main stab, 120 base power, very nice. We've got Wild Charge there for any water type Pokemon, and we've also got Close Combat as well. That's not so much for steel type Pokemon that it is for like, normal types and other coverage Pokemon. And it also isn't all that bad to have 4 steel types, so you don't have to keep going Flare Blitz over and over again and, expending up all your health. I've given this one heavy duty boots as the item, which is, a great swap-in item there, being unaffected by the hazards like Stealth Rock and Sticky Web, stuff like that. And we've also got the ability as Intimidate. So Intimidate is a great ability. You could run Justified on there, but that's kind of more gimmicky, so Intimidate is nice. It can cause a swap. It adds more bulk to Arcanine and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to go with this set here. We got a Terra type electric, so this is more of a surprise kind of set here. So we're going to be going like a water type Pokemon comes in, say a Gyarados comes in, right? You can go Terra type electric and Wild Charge, and you're absolutely going to like demolish them. Why they, probably go for a Dragon Dance thinking they've got a free swap. Even with Intimidate, it's going to definitely, even with Intimidate on the Gyarados, it's definitely going to be enough to take them out. So a nice sort of surprise Terra there. So some other Terras you could run on this too. Grass isn't all that bad on there as well. You just, if you're not running Terra Blast, you're not going to get that bonus. But as for like a sort of surprise, say a ground type move is coming away, that's pretty nice. Another good one is water as well. That works pretty good there just for any sort of incoming ground type Pokemon and your earthquakes, rock type moves, anything that's sort of like aimed at you, at least it's not going to be super effective, right? Next up we got is the doubles, sort of like a utility set. The EVs on this one are kind of all over the place, but let me explain. So we've got Citrus Berry as the item to start off with. We've got Intimidate as the ability. Mainly, you're going to be using Intimidate a lot on Arcanine. I will go into some Flash Fire movesets as we go through this video too. But there's as I said, there's quite a lot to explain for this Pokemon because it can run like many different ways. So this is definitely for doubles for sure. So we've got Flare Blitz as the main stab. Almost every Arcanine is going to be running Flare Blitz, right? It's not common you don't see that move. Snarl is very good here because it's not really so much for damage. It's just for dropping the opponent's special attack as support and utility for your team. You got extreme speed there, which is a nice move just to do some damage to finish off a Pokemon on a low amount of health there. Why your partner does like most of the damage and stuff like that. And we've also got Protect too. So Protect isn't a bad move to use on that at all. You could vary it with like Will-O-Wisp or like Morning Sun. There are other like options you can use that. Now the EVs I've given this, we've given it max health there just for overall bulk. I've given it a little bit of extra defense. So we've got 84 in defense and we've got 172 in special defense with Adamant Nature. So with Adamant Nature, that allows it to still hit hard somewhat with Flare Blitz and extreme speed. And as I mentioned, we don't need to worry about Snarl doing any damage. That's for dropping the opponent's special attack. And yeah, we've given it a little bit of special defense. So it's got a little bulk on the special side too. And with Intimidate and the little bit in defense there, 84 in defense, it's given it some all-round bulk and survivability. So that's a nice utility set that you could go about using in doubles there. Another set we got for doubles, we've got a bulky doubles Arcanine here. This one is just straight up max health and max speed, but it is works a little bit different. So We've got Intimidate, of course, on this, and another really good ability. Of course, it's just probably the best ability to run on Arcanine Moveset. So we've got Will-O-Wisp and we've got Snarl. So Will-O-Wisp is great for shutting down physical attackers. We've got Snarl once again, you know, for dropping that special attack on Pokemon. We've got Morning Sun here. Morning Sun is quite good on Arcanine with that extra bulk. And of course, we've got Flare Blitz too. So, you know, you say you do a bit of damage with Flare Blitz, you could always heal yourself up with Morning Sun. And the item I've actually given this is Safety Goggles. You could probably run something different if you wanted to, but Safety Goggles isn't bad there for any like sand Pokemon teams you come across there. And we've also got maybe a Citrus Berry could work on there too. You know, there's other like items and more gimmicky like Air Balloon if you don't want to, you know, feint to like a ground type move. But yeah, I go with Safety Goggles or Citrus Berry, those sort of items there. You could run. Now we got Terra type Water on this, and as for the utility one, I've got Grass on that. So, you know, Water and Grass are pretty good for these like utility sets, you know, just for a type for it to turn into, you know, obviously say a ground type move is coming away, a rock type move, you know, you're probably going to take a lot of damage there. They're very good ones to go into. And then you can get your Will-O-Wisp off and, you know, burn the physical attacker or drop the special attackers, you know, special attack, that sort of thing. So, yeah, there's a couple of, like, utility sets there for doubles. I mean, you could probably get away with using these in singles, too. But it is, somewhat is a bit of a waste if you don't go for a sweeping set. But if you want some bulk in your team, it can absolutely work at the same time. So, it more depends on what your team is going to be. Maybe for singles, you could adjust Snarl and give it not like extreme speed, right? You go Will-O-Wisp extreme speed, Morning Sun Flare, but something like that, right? So next set we got, you can't sort of overlook Assault Vest on, nearly said Growlithe then, Arcanine. It has some nice bulk about it when you make it a max health and max attack set. So with Intimidate, once again, we're going to be dropping the opponent's attacking stat, and we've got Assault Vest, so giving it extra bulk on the special side, which is really, really good. And it has some nice moves. So we got once again Flare Blitz, E-Speed. They're like the two moves you're pretty much always going to see on it most of the time. And Close Combat and Snarl. This is going to work well across the board there, whether you're running in singles or doubles. It's going to be like a definite asset for your team. So we sort of really had a look here at doubles and most of the time in singles too, this is going to work. Let's have a look at some more memes. Plus, I want to have a look at maybe some, you know, flash fire combinations and things like that. As for these doubles ones here, some partners I would suggest to run along would be Among Us. It's like Iron Hands, that would be another good one. I mean, Fluttermane is always good there. Trying to think of some other ones. Iron Bundle, that would be a good partner as well for these, like, you know, these sort of defensive utility, bulky sort of sets there. Now, the next set here we got is a definite meme set. It's a PIMPNITE special, and let's check it out. So we're sort of getting some memes here for a little bit of fun. So we got a Binding Band Arcanine here. Let's check this one out. So if you don't know what Binding Band is, the holder's partial trapping moves actually are going to deal a 6 of the maximum health instead of 1/8. So we're going to be using Fire Spin here. So we've got Fire Spin, so we're trapping the opponent in. We're doing that, you know, 1/6 of damage there, which is good. We've got Snarl in there to drop the opponent's special attack. We've got Morning Sun, and we've got Will-O-Wisp there. I didn't mean to actual double up that. So with Will-O-Wisp, we're going to be dropping the opponent's attack stat there, which is going to be great. We got Snarl dropping the special attack stat. We got Morning Sun healing us up, and we got Fire Spin trapping them in. The opponent is going to have one heck of a time there trying to fight you. It's more of a trolling set, right? So this EVs we got is max health and max special defense calm nature. This makes it fully bulky on the special side and, you know, maximizing its health. And we've got Will-O-Wisp there to shut down any physical attacker. So, you know, after that Will-O-Wisp is on there, the opponent is going to be hitting very hard at all with physical type moves there. And all at the same time, it's taking damage from Fire Spin, trapped in, Will-O-Wisp, the burn is doing damage, and you're doing damage with Snarl and healing off with Morning Sun, or Morning Scum as I like to call it. So, a little bit of a trolling set there for you. Now, I have to touch on Raging Fury here. So, you may not, you know, have heard of Raging Fury. It is a new move. You can't use this move currently because of the Hisuian Arcanine, but you'll be able to use it soon when Pokemon Home Drop. So for the purposes of this guide, if you're watching it like later on, you've come across this video, I want to put like a moveset for this, so there is one here. Now, the difference between Raging Fury and Flare Blitz is as follows. So Flare Blitz has the same base power. It's a physical type move. However, this is different because you don't actually lose any health through recall. It's like, basically it's like a fire version of Outrage. So you lock yourself into using Raging Fury. You don't take any recall, but you use it from 2 to 3 turns. So it is more of a risky move because say the opponent's got, let's say they've got a Flash Fire Pokemon, well, they can swap it right in there. It makes you kind of predictable, you know? So you've used it, oh, I know the opponent's going to use Raging Fury next turn. Well, let's swap in the Flash Fire Pokemon. Let's swap in the Water type Pokemon, that sort of thing. So why it's a good move, I'd say Flare Blitz is still better, but it's still interesting, and I thought I'd bring it up here. So we're going to be looking at a Choice Band set here, so we're really making use of these powerful moves that Arcanine gets. So once again, we've got Raging Fury. You could run Flare Blitz if you want to at the same time. Just with Choice Band, you're going to be on probably borrowed time after you use it like once or twice, right? We've got Extreme Speed, and we've got Close Combat, and we've got Play Rough here too. Play Rough isn't a bad coverage move you can use, as well as let me just bring this up here. So another coverage move you could use, yeah, Psychic Fangs is not a bad coverage move to use there either. But, yep, you could definitely run it as a choice-banded set for sure. I've given it Adamant max speed and max attack. Once again, you could go with Jolly Nature too, but I'm really trying to make use of that choice band and its nice attack stat there for Arcanine. So let's have a look at some more different options here for Arcanine, because as I mentioned, you can run a lot of different movesets with this. When Arcanine Hisuian gets released, I'm going to do a moveset guide on that separately, so you know, just before anyone does ask that. So let's have a little bit of a look at its special moves here, right? We're going to have a little bit of a PIMPNITE special here. Now, on its special side, it's not all that bad, and I wouldn't say its special attack is the worst in the game. I mean, most people are going to use it for physical, but, you know, special attack of 100 isn't bad, so let's explore that. So straight away there, we're going to go over the sweeping set here. Now, I'm going to be running this one with Timid Nature. I quite like that because it gives it maximum speed there. You're outspeeding some Pokemon that, you know, maybe are 90 base speed, you know, it's quite good for that, and, you know, that are running like Jolly or Timid. So we've got Fire Blast there as its main stat. Now, we've got Dragon Pulse. That isn't all that bad a coverage. And we're gonna mix this up with, we've got Solar Beam there. That's kind of interesting. Maybe, you know what? You could run this alongside a Torkoal, right? On a Sun team with Drought. So you could make use of Solar Beam. That would work. And we've also got Hyper Voice. So this is to be run with in a Sun team. So bear that one in mind. Let's give it Throat Spray. Yeah, okay, so we could give it Snarl at the same time there too. So that's definitely another option. So with Intimidate, that could be handy, but, you know, we could also explore Flash Fire here too, you know, so like something different. Now, when you're running this, obviously on a fire team, Flash Fire probably isn't going to, you know, be very effective, but if you were running this on non-sort of stun team, you could couple it with a Pokemon that is weak to fire, and then you could swap it in, get your Flash Fire, and, you know, be good to go there. And you might be able to sort of adjust it, so it's like, oh, I could put Sunny Day on here instead of, like, Throat Spray, you know, and then, you know, give it a Heat Rock, and then you could actually extend the turn of the sun. And that'll be a cool sort of option there too. So soon, like different options you could use this for a you know, sort of like a special sweeping set, which could be fun. A lot of the time, dragons like to swap into Arcanine too, because, you know, currently it doesn't really have anything super effective. But, you know, Dragon Pulse is going to be super effective. Not that it's going to be hitting super duper hard there, but at least you got some sort of option there to use. So with Sunny Day and Solar Beam, you can hit those rock and ground types for a really, really powerful grass type move. Matter of fact, I'd even go Terra-type grass there. Solar Beam, Terra-type grass going to do a lot of damage. Or, for a second, you could even mix it up and go Terra Blast. That way you wouldn't have to rely on Sunny Day. And you could open yourself up to probably have Hyper Voice and Throat Spray again. So there we go. Just thinking of like multiple different ways you could run a special set. So that's not bad, actually. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's the greatest set in the world, but it could be some Definitely some good surprise there. And its coverage it's not all that bad. So you've got Terra Blast Grass, so that would be great for any rock-type Pokemon, water-type Pokemon, ground-type Pokemon. Awesome, you know. And, you know, then we've got Hyper Voice there too, so maybe you swap it in, you finish your Pokemon off, you get your Throat Spray. Good, that's another special attack rise, you know, it's going to be handy. You know, Dragapulse, you know, any Dragon-type Pokemon, and Fire Blast, you'd, you know, just be spamming that, so that would be your sort of best combination there. So not a bad Pokemon. I can see it probably being shut down by other Fire-type Pokemon. You'd probably have to rely on using Hyper Voice and stuff like that, but still something pretty interesting you could actually check out there, and you could couple it with, let me just move one of these sets for a second. Let's say something like, matter of fact, so a Steel-type Pokemon. What about Bronzong? Yeah. So, say we got a Bronzong with Levitate, which isn't all that bad to use with Arcanine, because once again, you can get around the ground-type moves there, and you could bait, like, with its Steel type, but you could bait like a Flash Fire out. That'd be cool, you know. Bronzong's quite versatile with other, fire type Pokemon because it's got Levitate, and yeah, that'd be really cool. So any sort of Bronzong set, I'm not going to go into a full Bronzong set there. That would use that for another time, but that's not a bad partner. Or any Steel type Pokemon. Like let me just like put them up here for a second. So we've got lots, like Corviknight, perfect, So Corviknight, Goldengo, like Orthworm, Kingambit, like look at all these Pokemon that you could use for that. This could be like the ultimate bait, like Forretress, 4 times weak to fire. Boop, straight into Arcanine, free like Flash Fire. Now, you don't even have to be running a special set to run Flash Fire. Most people will run Intimidate, but like I said, you could... definitely set it up so you've got Flash Fire on something like this too. So that's another option that you could possibly use for Arcanine, that sort of thing. Now, as for Justified, I just want to go over like this ability here. Justified's kind of difficult because it's very like situational. So to get that to work, you'd really have to have something that's weak to dark, and to draw out a dark type move is kind of difficult. You'd probably need like a ghost type or a psychic type Pokemon, something like that, that would be the way to do it, but it's more situational, right? Anyway, let's have a look at Arcanine again there. I'd like to explore all options of a Pokemon, not just the most common sets to use there. So let's have a look at its physical moves straight up here. So I just want to go over some additional thoughts on Arcanine. So, Crunch isn't a bad move on the physical side. This allows you to hit Ghost types, which isn't all that bad. I don't think Psychic's going to be too much of a worry there, but, that's another move you could possibly use. It does get Flame Charge, which is an option to boost your speed, but... it does have extreme speed, and most of the time you're just going to be using Flare Blitz in extreme speed anyway, so that's not really something you're probably going to be using that much. We've gone over Raging Fury and Wild Charge. We've got Iron Head there too. Iron Head is another way for you to hit like Rock-type Pokemon if you really wanted to, but most of the time, I don't know, you probably can't really fit that on the set, but it isn't all that bad for like coverage and stuff like that. Let's go for some final sort of looks at some of these moves here. So nothing really amazing. We've got Airways, and Bulldoze isn't bad for support. I'm thinking maybe on a utility set, you might be able to slide. Looking at that doubles utility set we were talking about, all these types of sets, you might be able to fit it on there, but it's sort of outclassed by other Pokemon. So maybe you could drop Protect or something, but... yeah, there's not too much else you could use for that. Let's have a look at its special moves here. So we pretty much went over all of these already. There's nothing else you could, really use here. You might be able to run... I actually have run a Choice Spec set before here. This actually didn't do all that bad. It was a good surprise, so you could pop on Choice Specs there, and, Fire Blast is going to be doing, like, lots more damage, so it's nice, It's more of a surprise factor there for the opponent, expecting, like, a Flare Blitz, coming into a Terra Blast Choice Specs on a Water type or a Ground type, that would be really cool. Let's have a look at its status moves here. I'd like to quickly just have a look. So, it gets Agility, which... I don't know, you might be able to make use of here. Now, a move that it does get is Roar, so you might be able to make the utility set have Roar on it too. If you've got like a Stealth Rocks user on your team, that I could definitely see that working. Is it going to be like... is it going to be as good as like the other utility moves? Probably not. But you could do something like Roar, Will-O-Wisp, Morning Sun, and then maybe... I don't know, like, just pop Flare Blitz on there. You could do something like that, but, you know, you have that with, like, a, like, bulk. I mean, you could go really, really defensive on that if you wanted to, like something like this. I'm just thinking of something on the spot, like super defensive kind of set there. And you could have, like, I probably have Citrus Berry. Citrus Berry is just like a nice item there because you can, you know, use Flare Blitz and then you've got like a little bit of healing and then you don't have to go for Morning Sun right away. So you go like full on defensive wall there with Arcanine and couple it with a Stealth Rock Pokemon, you know? That could absolutely work for sure. Any I'm thinking of that Bronzong, you know, that could definitely be a good combination there. Or any Stealth Rock sort of lead would benefit from that. Garganacl and things like that. So yeah, that could be an option you could you use for that there if you really, really wanted to. But I think, I mean, just to bring that up. What else we got? We got Howl. So matter of fact, let's do a Howl set. So we'll do like, firstly we'll do like a physical attacker. So how is its only way to boost its attack stat? So let's, for example, I want that at 0. So we're boosting our attack, right? So we're going to want Jolly Nature. So we got Howl. I'll do a physical one and then might do like a mixed one. This could be interesting. So basically with Howl is, let's have a look at this. So I'd probably drop, I don't know. You could drop something like, you could drop maybe Close Combat or Wild Charge, one of those two moves. So you could run that on this set to boost your attack, you know. So that could be another option that you like there. Unfortunately, it doesn't get anything like Sword Dance or anything like that, but you know, it is an option. But most of the time, it's sort of you're not going to get a chance to use it, especially on a physical set, because you know Arcanine is weak to a lot of things, just being a fire type. But you could definitely use that on a single sweeper instead. Now, you could also run this, an interesting set here. You can run like a mix attacker. So how about this? So let's say, for example, let's drop Jolly and give it Naive. Actually, let's go with Naive. So now, how about this one? So we got Howl, Fire Blast. This is going to be like super limited. Flare Blitz, and can give it Extreme Speed. Yeah, okay, so this is like ultimate surprise. So we've got like Fire Blast and Flare Blitz. You've got those two sort of fire type moves there, and then we've got Extreme Speed too for a little bit of extra coverage against like you know, opposing fire type Pokemon and stuff like that. Obviously you'd be walled by rock types, so you could give it like another move. I'm trying to think, like, I mean, you've got Close Combat that could work at the same time there. Like other ghost type Pokemon. Maybe you could just get like a like any sort of coverage move there. Maybe Crunch, you know, so like you've got something else to hit those with, or Close Combat, something like that. Like coverage move. That could be like kind of cool, like using like a mixed set with Howl there. But very, very sort of like gimmicky stuff here for Arcanine. But yeah, that's pretty much it there. I felt like I've really covered Arcanine to the max there. If you've got any other Arcanine sets you think are decent that you've been using there, let me know about in the comment section for sure. I'll be doing another guide a little bit later on today too. I think we might have a look at Greninja, and then I think we're going to have a look at Decidueye tomorrow, because I think that's dropping for Scarlet and Violet. Anyway, people, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like there. I'll be back with another guide a little bit later on. Peace out.